Hi, we're here today with Brian Trudeau from Fluid Suspension Science, and we're here to talk to him about the importance of setting up your suspension properly.
Okay, so a well set up suspension is very, very important to every rider, no matter what your skill level is, no matter what your ability level is, or how long you've been riding, okay? So a lot of things I hear when people tell me, when I say, have you had your suspension set up? A lot of times I hear, well, I'm not really racing it, I'm not really that good yet, so I don't really know if I'll need my suspension set up. When in reality, it doesn't matter what experience level you are, everybody can benefit from a well set up suspension like you have, because I haven't met a dealership or a factory yet that has a bike set up for everyone, no matter what rider, what ability level. So no matter what you buy it, no matter what you buy, or where you buy it, everything needs a suspension set up for you specifically at that time.
And can you explain why, for women specifically, it's important to have a suspension set up?
Women specifically, this is a big deal. I hear a lot of women tell me again, oh, I'm not really fast, this is my first bike. But the problem is that these bikes, because the majority of people buying motorcycles are the male populace, most of the manufacturers are kind of going more towards a heavier spring, more set up for more heavier riders, when the women riders are a lot lighter and they have a lot of problem touching with their feet, and so they want to get involved in these lowering links and try to make the bike touch for them, when there's a whole gamut of things that we can do to make that bike handle better for women in specific, because you are typically smaller and you're a lot lighter, which makes the bike a little too stiff, and it makes it so that you can't touch your feet very well. With a well proper set up suspension for you and your weight, a lot of times we change the springs and make them softer, the bike will actually sag a little lower, causing you to be able to touch your feet and keeping the bike up to where it needs to handle properly without dragging parts on the ground or lowering it with lowering links. Stay away from lowering links. Those aren't the answer. And that is so much better for you as a woman, because it makes the ride enjoyable, because you're not fighting the bike and you're not worried about, do I have to back up somewhere because I can't barely touch my feet on the ground. And so it'll change your whole mentality about riding when the bike is set up for you and it handles better and you're easier to get around in a parking lot and you touch the ground. It's so important for women to understand that there are setups for you, as light and small as you are. Even Carol here, who's what, 5 foot?
5'4".
5'4" and 110 pounds, light, tiny little woman. We got her set up on her Monster just where she needs it. Now she can touch, now she can ride, now it's supple, the rear end's not skipping, and we got it all set up, and it's really well set up for her. As she gets faster or goes to the racetrack, just like many of you might, we'll have a different setup for that, and that's why I'm here, is to continuously help you throughout the process, so that way no matter what you're doing with your motorcycle, I will make it feel as good as it can for your speed and your ability level at the time. So that way you spend a lot of money on it, we might as well maximize your dollar you spent on it, so that way it feels the best it can for what you spent.